Greetings and salutations, good friends, and welcome to Blades in Paradise. My name is Dr. Winston Thoreau, and I will be your guide to the perils and pleasures of our paradise amidst the post-apocalyptic Pacific Northwest. Now, we'll get to the chicanery and shenanigans momentarily, but before we do, allow me to deliver some news. Blades in Paradise is an actual play podcast run in John Harper's Blades in the Dark, and we're sponsored by the developer Evil Hat Games. Use code BARDROCK10 at checkout to save on your order. Bard Rock Network is sponsored by Dragon Master Games. Visit dragonmastergames.com for all your CCG, TCG, TTRPG, and miniature game needs. If you enjoyed the stories we tell, you can tip us on Ko-fi or visit us at patreon.com/bardrockcafe. By sponsoring the network, you not only help us provide an ever-expanding library of shows, but gain access to bonus content, the network Discord, quarterly backer games with the network community, and an annual swag bag. Now, without further ado, let's join Lizzie, Sterling, and Max, as well as myself, the crew of ESPN. Enjoy.
Blades in Paradise is a dystopian story intended for adults. These stories intentionally address challenging topics that might not be suitable for all ears. This campaign includes content warnings for gun violence, child endangerment, animal cruelty, unintentional misgendering of a non-binary person, substance use, and graphic descriptions of injuries, including the eyes. Listener discretion is advised.
Is this thing on? Gather round. I'm about to tell you the beginnings of the night of Valenweenmas. 'Twas the night of Valenweenmas, and observers were giddy. Every creature was stirring throughout Circuit City. The nooks and the crannies were all stuffed with care, and hopes that recipients would soon find gifts there. The children were dancing upon all their beds, with horror movie marathons filling their heads. The lovers did mischief like pissing in caps. I'll tell you this tale and then have a nap. It began long, long ago, someplace far, far away. 3 unwitting heroes saved Valenweenmas Day. The wind was windy, the lightning did flash. 3 scoundrels alone and short on cash. 2 without gifts for the people they know. Deep into a wealthy district they did go. Dodging security droids and live guards, materialist nonsense, Deidre remarked. That one cold evening within Circuit City, easy pickings turned into something quite shitty.
Hi, I'm Riley, and I'm here today with warm tidings and cool people for a special festive episode. We'll be playing Vampunks by Alexander Eden. Please, cool people, tell us who you are, who you're playing, and a fun fact about your character tonight.
Hello everyone, my name is Jim, and today I will be playing Sister Deirdre of the Holy Order of Jesusaurus Rex the Redeemer. Sister Deirdre is an older nun who basically spends her Sundays at the Monster Truck Emporium where Jesusaurus Rex crushes all competitors. And as they say, we'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. Amen.
Nice. In kind of the same vein, I'm Justin Langston, and normally I play Max, who gave the intro, but he's recounting this tale that happened so long ago. He is not in this play, but my other character is. His name is Reverend Cantiller Gates, and he is a prosperity preacher. Wears a baby blue rhinestone suit with overly aggressive white pompadour hair, white patent leather shoes, a gold teeth, has had extra teeth put in so his smile can be extra big. His wife, Pearlie Gates, has sent him out in order to obtain something that he couldn't buy with his prosperity money. So he is on his way looking for world peas, as in a can of peas that has been whirled.
Hi, I'm Paul, and I'm usually the entire supporting cast. Today I'll be playing Artemis Oswald Lee, or AOL as his friends like to call him. He is a Caltech graduate with a double master's in engineering and computer science, so of course the only job he could get was working for the Dork Detail, a humiliating tech support job here in Circuit City. But he was so good at customer service and his job that he eventually made him work as the mascot, the only other humiliating job in the company. He operates under the pseudonym Seymour Deals in a really, really awful outfit that has like a bunch of like those like flexible LCD screens you would see like Back to the Future 2 kind of thing. He's just got a bunch of corporate logos that kind of cycle through like he's just a walking digital billboard. Like imagine a NASCAR driver, but cyberpunk.
Does he have a foam head, or is he...
He's more like Duff Man, but as a NASCAR driver.
Oh, yeah.
That is now informed by character voice when he's in the character of Seymour Deals.
Seymour's larynx has been crushed.
Seymour can't breathe. Seymour now only speaks in the third person.
We open on some last-minute gift shopping in a higher income end of town. It's the perfect time, after the rich assholes have hidden their shinies to be found by intended spoiled brats. They've probably got Valenweenmas insurance anyway. The cobblestone streets are dry and the air is humid.
Sister Deirdre is currently standing outside the most bougie of boutiques with a large brass bell and a red donation bucket a la the Salvation Army, and as she rings the bell, she's screaming, "Heathens! You're all heathens! Valenweenmas is not about the material goods, it's not about the gifts that you go and you steal from other people. Valenweenmas is supposed to be about being with your families, being with your friends, and crushing some cold brewskis in front of the television."
Very nice. Of course she's Irish.
Hey, listen, I went to Catholic school for literally 18 years of my life. I know nothing but Irish Catholic nuns.
I'm so sorry.
Directly across the street from the sister, you see this man in like a NASCAR outfit, but with a cape and this really big, like reflective hat and all of these logos. And he's just like dancing and pelvic thrusting and all these other inappropriate gestures, just gyrating the entire time. Like, hey, did you forget to buy your Valenweenmas gifts? Stop over at this special gift shop, biggest gift shop in Circuit City. That's right, Seymour Deals is here to tell you where you can get your last-minute Valenweenmas gifts. And I'm like, every time a customer comes near me, I'm like handing them a little coupon. But because we're in like cyberpunk, it's like a little digital coupon, so I'm like holding out my phone and beaming it to their phone.
Now, Seymour, I'll tell you where you can put your last-minute Valenweenmas gifts. You know that this is my corner.
No, see, I'm across the street. This is my corner. Your corner's over there.
Listen, this is a four-way intersection, and you know that. That means that the person who gets here first and stakes their claim on the corner is the person who gets to have all four of the corners.
As you say this, and as the temperatures are rising between you two, a hush falls over the crowd as a large procession of very large steam or cyber-powered trucks, all cyber trucks from Tesla, of course.
So they're on fire?
They are all on fire. They all come driving down the center slowly with masses of the poor and unwashed, throwing whatever Bitcoin they can from their little handheld devices towards the cyber cars. And you see in the lead as it stops with flags of a halo-encrusted $sign, the door opens and this luxurious, thick white carpet rolls out and goes right in front of the doors to the store. And you see as a white patent leather shoe sits down onto that super thick carpet, the entirety of the group starts chanting and singing in different tunes. They all begin to sing, "I heard there was a secret foreplay when we were all bored, but you don't care for foreplay, do ya? It goes amiss, you bite the tip, scraped up knees, you split your lip, and from the jail he drew you like a French girl, like a virgin, touched for the very first time." Oh, I may be confusing songs. Anyway, you see as the good Reverend Gates steps down with his super big, gleaming, toothy smile, steps out and goes, "Friends, we all are part of this world, and if you donate right now, we can send you to your last rewards. Can anybody get me a gay man?"
All of the gay men take a step back.
Can I get a gay man? Hallelujah. Anyway, I am in search.
I push a little button on my I have like a wrist-mounted computer. I push the little button, and there's a pre-recorded sound of a crowd saying the word.
Praise motherboard. So, I am in search of something that my wealth cannot afford. Something that maybe y'all have seen. Can of world peas. Can I get a game in?
I push the button.
Game in. Bless your hard drive.
Oh, I get it.
This is in cyber territory, you know, this is in the future. Things go askew.
And do you all know each other? Or I guess it sounds like we've got a sort of a professional rivalry going on.
I like to think because you have to remember that Artemis hates this job. He's just playing it up for the crowd. I feel like he's secretly friends with the sister, but like this is actually how the sister makes his shift less intolerable. Is bickering with him so he doesn't have to spend all his time pelvic thrusting at people.
Reverend Gates is his own country, really. He is a futuristic cyberpunk version of all the televangelists of the 1970s and 80s.
But not the 2000s televangelists.
They're the same ones, just very old.
Our televangelist listener base just collapsed.
Reverend Gates, you come down here talking about your world peas and your plans for purchasing what money can't buy. Now, how many times have I had to tell you that if you wanted to go ahead and find what you were looking for, all you needed to do was go down to the Church of Jesusaurus Rex the Redeemer on a Sunday, and witness the holy miracles of the Redeemer himself.
Now, Sister Mary, that is your name. You're all Marys, right?
Deirdre.
Oh, Sister Deirdre. Sister Mary Deirdre, or is it just Deirdre?
Sister Deirdre Mary, yes, there is everyone is legally required to have a Mary in there somewhere.
Right. And this is the third Sunday that we're supposed to go down to the Church of Jesusaurus Rex?
No, it's every Sunday. It's an honorific.
You just failed being a faithful follower, because there's only one Sunday on the calendar, and it's every day that the sun rises.
I push a little button and you like that one video of that guy going, I just ended their whole career plays on the loudspeaker.
Oh, I see we have a hype man for the church now.
I am technically employed by the city of Circuit City. Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Seymour Deals. I'm just the tech support team for the entire city, but I'm the mascot.
No, you're the tech support for the entire city. Just one person.
This is, considering I have all my points in tech, this is accurate.
They're all named Seymour Deals. They all have to be Seymour Deals when they go to a different house because everyone wants to have the Seymour Deals work.
No, Seymour Deals is the leader of the dork detail. Everyone else is is Seymour's helpers.
Yeah, Progressive has Flo, and we have Seymour Deals.
Exactly.
Hal, he blew you.
Oh my gosh, you've said that 3 times or something now, and I just got that too. Fucking hell.
No, that's heaven for him.
Is it true what I heard, Revan? You can only spend 7 minutes in heaven?
Oh, well, you can spend an entirety of your entirety in heaven. You just have to pay a nominal fee of 47 credits per day, every day for the rest of your life. And that's if you want the shack version. If you want the mansion, well, we can talk about a layaway.
I'd prefer it if you both laid away from my corner. And I go back to my bucket.
Do you live in that bucket?
No, I live down at the stadium, at the complex, at the Church of Jesusaurus Rex, the Holy Redeemer himself.
I understand. It was just my way of saying you are a very dedicated person, and I can appreciate that. We may come from 2 different lifestyles. However, if you can help me find a can of world peas, as my darling wife Pearlie Gates has been requesting, I can pass that on to her. And she promised that my firstborn son, whose name is Amos Gates, he will take that blessing and he will multiply it across the world.
You and I both know that canned food has been gone since the before times. All right,
That's why I'm looking for it.
we all get our rations as necessary. Our cups of Soylent, our cups of Soylent Green, and our cups of Soylent Blue.
Oh, rations. Yes. rations. That's what I get every day, yes.
Seymour has heard legends of the canned food. Surely somewhere in Circus City there is a single can that has survived from before times.
I love that canned food also makes a resurgence when we go back to steampunk time, because
It has its ups and downs.
I mean, eventually they had to rediscover canning technology. It's not like
Canning technology.
exactly like it's not exactly that complex. They've been doing it for a long time. It's just like, oh hey, we need to remember how to do this. We had machines doing it before. Oh wait, let's rebuild the machines. It works.
We got so advanced we forgot the old ways.
we got so accustomed to consuming tasteless, textureless slurry that we then went back to having additional kinds of tasteless, textureless slurry.
The actual problem here is the pea may have went extinct, and then you can't have a can of slurred peas without peas.
You know, they say world peace is priceless.
Well, that is all I'm looking for, my friends. If I can find just a little bit of world peace, my wife Perla says that it may bring calm to our house and fortune to our son.
Game Runner, I would like to use my amazing technical skills to apply Google Food in my wrist computer to look up who in Circuit City might own the world's last can of world peace.
That sounds like a tech roll. I did not explain to any of the players how to play this game. Do you have 3d6 ready?
I do.
So what you'll do is roll 3d6, add them up, and then subtract your tech score.
Okay, so I'm going to roll 3d6 and then subtract 3.
Correct.
Alright, so I rolled a 1, a 2, and a 3, so a total of 6 minus 3 for 3.
Oh shit.
I don't know if this is a we're trying to roll low or roll high situation.
Yeah, you're trying to roll low. So that's real fucking good. A 1 to 6 is a success.
I have like a 1980s power glove, but steampunkified. And when I push the screen, like a little holographic display of a computer monitor appears above my wrist. And so I'm just Tony Starking it into my wrist, and then a Google search bar pops up, or like a bajillion. That's another big number as a search engine. Oh, and actually, you also hear ba-bing, 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 because I'm AOL.
Googleplex.
That's what I was gonna go for.
You bajillion search it and find some posts on Nextdoor app that also made a resurgence. Somebody bragging that they did manage to find a fresh can of world peas and have hid it somewhere in a neighborhood that I will think of the name of by the time I finish this sentence.
Is it in Hidden Valley?
Yep. Read my mind.
I thought Hidden Valley was the ranch outside of the city.
It was a ranch, but the city expanded and just ate it up.
See, a ranch is also a type of house, so maybe this person just hid this very expensive, rare item in a very, very run-of-the-mill house.
Yeah, it's a ranch-style house next to a bunch of skyscrapers, so it feels like it's in a valley.
Oh my god, it's the house from Up.
I dig it.
Yeah, so I get this information and I say, Father, I think I know where you can find your peas.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not your father. I'm Reverend Gates. You see, I've only sired 14 children, and you are not one of them. However, I do have a bat phone to Jeebus.
He pulls out what looks like a Nokia cell phone that strangely powered, and he just dials 3 sevens in a row and waits for any type of signal.
I would like to beam the AOL noise into his earpiece.
You've got mail.
You've got Godmail. Reverend, don't tell me that as a man of the cloth yourself that you're buying into all of this Valenweenmas malarkey.
Well, now, you can't call it malarkey. I mean, your people, and I do mean that in the most racist way. Your people worship potatoes for how long now?
We continue on to this day. It's not something that ever quite stopped. I mean, when it's the only thing that you can grow for, centuries, you tend to love it.
Yes, and
I myself am deathly allergic, but...
Oh, well, that's terrible. I will pay for you. Let's see. I am trying to get communications because I don't quite trust the technological stuff.
our friend over there. He's obviously a heathen who believes in it. I, however, would like to phone a friend, as it were.
I like how you're afraid of technology, so you use a phone.
It's a Nokia.
Would you say that the Reverend is looking for a sign?
He is looking for a signal on his Nokia. Not sponsored by Nokia.
It's holding it up.
Now, you do understand that we used to, as a society worldwide, used to celebrate different types of religious, shall we say, celebrations. There were some that were holier than others. You know, only the good people could celebrate the really good ones, and the rest of the people served the rest. He blows his nose on a handkerchief and throws it behind him while the crowd lunges for it, and there's death and murder as they're trying to grab his handkerchief. Bless you, bless you.
I get it, because he had a tissue. I get it.
Well, it looks like I'm not getting any sort of reception. I have 404'd. So,
Did you want to roll faith, or what are you expecting to happen with your god phone here?
Well, yeah, I'd love to roll faith. Let's see, I put all my points into faith, so that's 6d6.
Nice try. I don't think you would want that. But 3d6 minus your faith score.
So 3d6.
Minus 6.
Minus 6. I got a 0.
Did you say minus 6? How did you... Oh, yeah, because you the bonus point. Okay. Yeah.
The Reverend cannot roll anything in any other skills, just faith.
Perfect score.
Really useful when we have to pray away our problems.
Jesusaurus opens the clouds. What?
Yeah, with a critical success, you ring up Jesusaurus. Jesusaurus was Deirdre's, wasn't it?
Hey, bestie.
I like the idea he calls the entirely wrong god and he gets Deirdre's god. I love it.
He doesn't care. He just knows that it's a bat phone.
I think with a critical success, he gets the god he wants. I misspoke.
Jesusaurus would just come in from the back and just run over his entire congregation anyway and crush the Cybertruck and then drive off. And that would be the sign that Jesusaurus Rex would bring.
Yeah, you hear that ruckus and then the phone clattering as it falls on the celestial floor. And then the sound of it being picked up. And Jiva says, hey, what's up?
Hey, bestie. So I'm looking for world peace. And they have this little doodad on their wrist, and it is just unnatural. So can you just point me in a location where I can find world peace?
Yeah, I can do that. As you're walking down the streets towards the location that AOL and Jeebus narrowed down for you, ahead of you, a few yards past the ranch-style house you found, is a glowing indicator, like in a video game.
Yeah, I would not walk. I would just fall backwards in a crucifixion pose as my followers pick me up.
Oh, they're all coming with you. Okay.
Just the ones that weren't crushed.
Deirdre, in a moment of shaken faith, having seen a true miracle being performed before her eyes that was not of her own God's volition, is going to attempt to jingle all the way the situation and hop into the Reverend's Cybertruck and drive it down the street before he can get to the house.
Oh, thank you for bringing Jingle all the way into this. It's absolutely that and Blade Runner.
Really, if they would just make a movie based on those 3 IPs, we'd be perfect.
We're going to do our best here tonight.
Called dibs on Sinbad.
I mean, I'm just playing Captain Amazing from Mystery Men, so I brought an entirely different RP in.
That's just the icing on the cake.
Can I get a grit roll from Deirdre?
Oh boy. Alright, so 3d6 minus... Oh, that's a 13.
You are in a Tesla.
The trunk cuts off all the fingers on one of my hands.
I like to think that you were so focused on wondering how the light is coming out of the exhaust that you forgot how to drive.
Yes, I rolled my 3d6 to try to do something cool. Rolled a 15 minus 2, which is a 13.
You didn't roll 3 6s, so you don't have to lose any fingers this time, I think. Unless you want to. I won't stop you.
No. How else am I going to drive a monster truck if I don't have the fingers on my hands?
Well, I figure at this point in the future, the Tesla truck will just be the absolute worst, but also being viewed as the best. So the exhaust of the truck will go into the passenger seat.
If you hit the wrong button, it actually attempts to kill you.
It just eats you. You are instantly faxed someplace.
It's like that video of the cartoon of the Transformer that transforms with the people inside of it, and it just crushes them completely into bone and viscera.
Ah! Oh God! Ah!
You're all heading towards this glowing bush off on the corner in your various ways. It's so close, but a nearby person that you kind of just assumed might just be loitering around. They're in costume like they might be celebrating as a baseball player. Picks up the bat that they're got kind of leaning next to them and steps between growing crowd apparently and the bush. Probably a hired gift guard sent to prevent people doing exactly what you're doing.
I have used the time where the crowd is running to quietly change out of my Duffman uniform into my street clothes. And I'm just walking around, and you know how, like, I'm the mascot of the entire tech support team for the city?
Yes, I know that.
Would it suffice to say they probably have something called, like, fire pods or earth pods that people use to mark things they don't want to lose when they buy expensive tech toys?
Totally.
So I would like to pull up the network of those that I have access to because I'm the tech guy. And I'm just going around picking up all the things that are hidden on my way there. So I just like loading 1,000 fucking tablets into my bag. And as I kind of just stroll up, because this big crowd, this big distraction, so no one's looking at the fuck I'm doing. I'm like, oh, hey, a gift card. And I want to just airdrop him a notification that it's time for his union scheduled break. Can I roll tech to distract this guy into thinking it's time for him to leave? 7, 8, 9, minus 3 is 6. So basically, I just like open my phone into like nearby mode, and because I'm a hacker, I'm making it look like he's getting an official text from his employer, like, "Hey, it's time for your 15-minute break." So he probably thinks there's coverage coming, but it's not.
All right.
If nothing else, I want to be distracted by the text on his phone so that he looks down and everyone has an opportunity. That would also be fine.
Perfect. Checks his cyber phone and then looks at the crowd, and then looks at the bush. And kind of sighs, and then looks sort of up the street in the opposite direction, and sees Noob Saibot.
The all-black ninja from Mortal Kombat?
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yep, that's the one. Coming down the street and approaching the same bush. So this guard, who believes it's break time, looks at Noob and very confidently says, perfect timing. These folks just showed up. I think there's going to be trouble. But obviously it's break time. So, see you in 15. Good luck. Rolls away.
Absolutely.
And just obviously the most cyberpunk ninja imaginable for the audience, in case anyone is unfamiliar with the 20-plus-year-old IP of Mortal Kombat.
Black hood, black armor, black sword.
Is this a game? Is this a game or
Black mask.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, but in this universe, it's actually it's spelled with a C for combat and not a K like in real life. But the B is backwards.
Yeah, it's one of those, what are they called? Those MMORPGs.
Lethal combat. Less than happy endings.
I'd like to also add that as he gets closer, you see a sack slung over his shoulder, kind of over top of the sword that's sheathed on his back. It kind of smells faintly of cinnamon. Noob goes over to the bush and picks up wrapped cylinder and starts to put it in his sack.
Deirdre would like to Terry Tate office linebacker him, basically attempt to spear tackle him into the bushes behind him and knock all of the gifts loose from his bag.
As a nun should.
You blasted heathen! 9 minus 2 is a 7. The Cybertruck cuts all of my fingers off.
No, you tackled him incorrectly. They maybe threw your back out or something.
You successfully tackle Cybot and scatter gifts everywhere.
It's like Sonic with the rings, just...
Yeah, he starts blinking until he picks up one of the gifts.
We're just going to keep doing these Sega pulls for the rest of the night.
And they're all mixed up, and you've sort of lost track of the cylinder-shaped package in the scuffle.
May I approach him?
I mean, he's only got one gift on him, so he's got low HP, so...
As the 5 or 6 people carrying me, because I am not going to set foot on regular ground, not with these patent white shoots. Are you kidding me? If I get a scuff, I'm going to be unhappy. So as I go up to him, I would like to, as I'm being held up by these sweating and arm-shaking people,
My friend, the time has come to meet your maker of happy wishes. So I will give you one of 37 mansions that I own if you give me that cylindrical gift right over there in your little backy-packy. If not, I'm gonna have to get you a come to Jeebus meeting.
No way.
bring it.
Is this a persuasion type thing, or are you throwing down the gauntlet?
Oh, yeah. I would totally do persuasion.
That sounded like a threat to me. That sounded like intimidation.
So 3d6,
Yeah, whichever stat's better for you.
0 or 6.
0
It's
or
real easy.
6.
It's real easy.
I haven't memorized your stats.
There's only one stat on that sheet.
Riley, most generous GM.
Yeah, so understand, he is based on the televangelist, so his hair is perfectly coiffed in a very, as I said, aggressive pompadour. And so there's like 200 cans of hairspray holding that thing together. So with a 3d6, I got a 10, minus 6 is a 4. Headbutt. He either gives me the can, or I basically nail him into the ground.
I mean, you succeeded. I guess he agrees. Reluctantly stares at the crowd and does not want to take on this fight alone.
He digs through all the gifts scattered across the ground, finds the can in question, aggressively tosses it to you, just as someone else appears.
Enjoy what you're hearing? Rate us on your favorite podcatcher. Reviews on platforms like Apple, Spotify, or Good Pods help new listeners find our content. It's a completely free way to support the show. Thanks for listening.
Christina, I'm all caught up in my favorite actual play podcasts. What should I do?
All of them? Even my podcast, Agents of Damned?
That's right. Your show's excellent, but I'm up to date on that one too. I'm not sure what to check out next.
Yeah, I know. There's just so many excellent actual play productions out there, it can be overwhelming to choose one.
Not to worry, friends. I can make some recommendations.
Oh my gosh, it's multi-talented TTRPG actual play performer and professional musician Marty Balmer.
That's right. Just check out my new podcast, College of Whispers. We're the actual play book club that can help you find your new favorite production. Join me and my co-host Vicky every month as we review and analyze different productions in a spoiler-light format that's both entertaining and informative.
Wow, that sounds great. You don't just look at the big name productions, right?
Yeah, I feel like whenever I ask for podcast recommendations, the same handful of super popular mainstream shows is all I get suggestions for.
Not to fear, on College of Whispers, we look at a mix of big names and indie productions, so the scrappy up-and-coming shows can get their moment in the sun as well.
Well, I'm sold. I'm gonna go download College Whispers on my favorite podcatcher right now. Thanks, Marty.
Wait, Paul, we're part of the Bard Rock Network now. How is any of this news to you?
Give them a listen, everybody.
In the same direction that Noob came from is a bedsheet ghost.
Oh my god, it's the spirit of Valenweenmas.
I just absentmindedly grab a key and fling it towards Noob Sabat. I don't know which house it is, but he can have it.
While the spirit of Valenweenmas is making their entrance, and the Reverend is very distracted, I would like to approach the Reverend's unattended convoy. Now, this is Cyberpunk, so our currency is somewhere between 90 and 100% digital, yes?
90.2.
Alright, so I would like to just use my tech hacking skills for the Reverend, and the Reverend has established he's not very tech savvy. I'm guessing his password's 1234. I would just like to drain his bank accounts until he is a man of more reasonable means. And legally transfer all of his mansions except one to Noob Saibot.
Legal name, Noob, Saibot.
I feel like that should be a roll to take everything another character owns. Almost everything.
Can I roll tech for this? I'm leaving him with one nice house and an acceptable amount of money to support the lifestyle associated with that house. I'm just knocking him down.
The deed to the house he just gave the key to.
Yeah, the one house that he's allowed to keep is the one he threw the key to. Somehow I make that line up. That's like a critical success, because I don't know which one he threw the key to.
Neither does he.
His parishioners will just tithe him back up to where he was before. It's fine.
Alright, so that is a 10 minus 3 for a 7. I guess he gets to keep a couple of the houses.
A bolt of lightning comes down on you.
2 houses, 8 hover cars, basically penniless.
Still a multi-billionaire, but, less of one.
No, you went from being Elon Musk to the pillow guy.
How dare you?
You're still very wealthy, but you're very problematic, and you're relying entirely on your following for anything now.
His voice changes without him realizing it. So, my friends, if you have a pillow...
So he's still Elon.
It's not one of mine.
Thunder, lightning, thunder, lightning.
Oh, well, look at that. Now, Reverend, you have what you want, and you're still never gonna understand what it means to have peace. You may have world peace, but you're never gonna understand the true meaning of Valenweenmas.
Since this is a fairly newer holiday based on the old ways, as we say, I don't understand what you're saying with your weird gobbledygook accent.
Well, you see, when Valenweenmas started up, there used to be thousands upon, if not millions, who'd show up every Sunday to worship the workings of Jesusaurus Rex the Redeemer. And now that all of the Valenweenmas traditions have sprung forth, all people can care about is finding the right gift, and purchasing the right gift, and falling in love with the right person, and getting married, and having 2.5 children, and contributing back to the coffers of Circuit City, and nobody's showing up to watch us crush old abandoned cars and drink beer.
Wasn't your particular flavor that group that used to do your quotations around this word worship by eating bits of your Jeebus? I believe you called it Jesus.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Christ's nips? Like his nipples?
They were actually called Christ nips. Thank you very much.
You ate your God's nipples?
Nips.
You ate your God's nipples. You are a heathen, terrible person. Can I get a gay man? Because my stock went down.
No, like it's you take a little bit of something and you just have a nip of it.
I do not push the button.
You just have a nip of it. It's just a little something. So you take that can back to your wife, and you have yourself a merry Valenweenmas. But you'll never understand the true meaning of watching cars be crushed by a significantly larger car.
Well, I mean, I did see that when I came upon the street and I made a phone call, and a very angry dinosaur-themed truck came through and killed the majority of my procession back there. So, I mean...
No, but it's different when there's sawdust on the ground and listen, it's just different, okay?
Can I open the packaging and make sure it's actually world peas?
You tear open the festive packaging, and it is indeed a slightly dented can of world peas.
Seeing this, Deirdre's going to remove her habit from the top of her head and unzip her black NASCAR-esque jumpsuit and sit down on the curb and bury her head in her hands because everything that she knows about her faith has been destroyed in this moment.
I would like to push a button and transfer a substantial amount of the money I stole from the Reverend to the Church of Jeebosaurus Rex.
Little notification pops up.
40 notifications, all dinging.
It's a Valenweenmas miracle.
So as Sister Deirdre Mary has removed the habit and the NASCAR style garments, is she wearing anything else?
A Def Leppard t-shirt and a pair of denim cutoffs.
Fantastic. I'd hope so. And she's like in her 80s, right?
Oh, definitely.
No, it should be Linkin Park because she's breaking the habit.
Amazing.
That made me sad.
I was upset that he asked, but glad he did.
Oh, I've become so numb to this.
You've got the world peas in your hand, maybe a new relationship with your faith, and a weird amount of financial power.
Oh no. I haven't learned a damn thing.
But wait. That first guard has returned. Half a granola bar in one hand, and a communicator in the other, and he's reporting that the gift that he was hired to protect has somehow been taken. And with that, all the stones around you begin to tremble. The sewer hole cover starts to vibrate out of place. The street starts to crack and tear apart as a giant metallic being comes up from the sewer, dripping of sewer sewage. It's about as wide as a hover car, as tall as a street lamp, with big multi-pronged titanium antlers. It climbs up onto the cobblestone street.
Also, is the spirit of Valenweenmas still here?
Paul, the spirit of Valenweenmas is always here.
The creature that you have identified as the spirit of Valenweenmas, with no investigation whatsoever, looks on as a loudspeaker from the front of the snout of the metallic deer creature announces, "To protect the world from earnest celebration and unite all wallets under commercialization to denounce the evils of community aid and keep moving products exploitively made. Ready, aim. Metal pain deer blast off at the speed of light. No surrender. I'll attack until you scum have all died. Rawr, let's fight."
I would like to take my flock of meat shields and put them in front of me, please.
Yeah, I guess that feels like a thing you can do. Your people will just do that. They carried you here.
What in the name of Jesusaurus Rex is that?
Oh, these are my followers. They're all named Meat Shield.
No, the large metallic deer, sir.
Don't make me reach out and touch someone.
Well, I'm gonna make him do it.
So I'm curious about something. So we're in Cyberpunk. So is there somewhere nearby, like one of those like Back to the Future style? You know in Back to the Future 2, there's that like hologram projector that like makes the image of Jaws come and bite Marty. It scares the living shit out of him. Is there a similar holographic advertisement device somewhere near this particular street corner in the Hidden Valley?
Absolutely.
I will say that the only thing I remember from Back to the Future 2 is the pockets inside out.
That's the only thing you remember?
That's it. It's gone.
That is an oddly specific thing to remember.
We are talking about somebody who doesn't know who Princess Di is, okay? Riley's on the youngerish side.
I have said like 3 times I know who she is. I was born in 90.
Riley is just our Tom Holland Spider-Man. Have you seen that old movie, Return of the Jedi?
Instantly, my beard turns gray. Just all gray.
Anyway, I'm just saying, is there some device nearby that like produces like some sort of holographic advertisements?
Oh yes, certainly. Yeah.
I would like to hack into the device and create a very convincing hologram of Chibosaurus Rex to try and scare away the guy piloting the mech and thinking a literal god dinosaur showed up. And to also restore Deirdre's faith.
To take over some drones that are creating like a 3D ad.
Yep, so I rolled a 6, a 1, and a 2 for a 9. Minus 3 is a 6.
You're rolling so good.
A lot of other games, this would be us rolling shit. That's the funny thing. This is going to fall apart when the guy piloting the mech tries to say, says, okay, I'm down for this, throws one punch and realizes it's a distraction.
See, but now having seen the immense green scaled form of her motor car and savior emerge from the advertising drones, Deirdre picks up her habit and places it back upon her head and removes the most powerful item that she possibly can from inside of her jumpsuit, which is a wooden ruler, and goes to whack the droid upside the head with the, actually not upside the head, on its knuckles with the wooden ruler as to try to reprimand it and tell it to leave us alone.
Do reindeer have knuckles?
They're called hooves, actually.
Mm-hmm.
No, only mooses. Only moose.
Oh no, you rolled really badly to hit a Megazord-sized robot on the knuckles?
You are not going to believe this. That's a 17 minus 2, that's a 15.
I feel like the dice are telling the rational story at the moment.
It balks a bit at the presence of this new god that just appeared before it. But then it gets slapped on the foot with a ruler. Looks at Sister Deirdre.
Just breaks in half as soon as I hit it, and I look at it, and it's like, that's never happened before. What kind of unholy being is this?
It takes a few steps back, and then jumps up onto the side of a building, and one of its antlers sort of rotates, takes aim, and fires an electro ball. I don't think it's gonna attack Jesusaurus. I keep wanting to combine them into Jebusaurus. Give it another 100 years. Alright, it's going to head towards Reverend Gates.
The true miracle of...
Sorry, the dice have dictated.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the difference between Christians and Protestants. Or Catholics and Protestants, I should say.
I was gonna say 1 point of damage, but the meat shield has absorbed most of it, so your beautifully coiffed hair gets slightly singed, but it doesn't hurt at all, physically anyway. Oh no, I broke him.
Oh no, you did not.
I believe the perhaps vengeful Reverend Gates is the only one that hasn't had a turn in a bit.
I put the meat shield in front of me, and that was mine.
Yeah, but then we did the hologram and the ruler, so it is your turn.
So, as he's still standing upon what's left of his most ardent followers' remains, he takes off his white patent shoes angrily while just dead-eyeing the mecha-deer, and he pulls a little baggie out from his jacket pocket, his inner jacket pocket, opens the baggie very violently, puts his shoes in, zips it up, and sets it down, and then out of his other jacket inner pocket pulls out some paper booties and slips them on. Very angrily.
Oh my gosh.
And if I can still attack, I would like to headbutt the mecha deer.
Paper booty, power jump, headbutt. Hell yeah.
So I rolled a 2, a 2, and a 4.
That headbutting is faith-based?
Oh shit, this just became an anime.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so what would I roll?
That feels like a grit.
Grit? Oh, terrible. Okay, so that's a 15.
15?
I re-rolled because, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I feel like this is going to go exactly how headbutting a robot with a human skull would go.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, you summon up a lot of force and jump in the air and meet it mid-air above the city, above the cobblestone street, as it kicks off of the side of the building that it had jumped to. And you just slam into the antlers and drop to the ground like a bag of sand.
Do we hear an audible clang, or is it just a thunk?
2 clangs.
The hair clangs. Okay. That is some really good Breck spray.
Very flammable, but very good.
Right. How much damage do I take?
I'm not gonna give you damage for your own attack. It wasn't. It could have been worse.
It could have been worse. How much?
15's pretty bad.
If you roll 3 6s, it'll be real bad.
Yeah, that's fair. That is 5/6 of the way to 3 6s.
Very much so.
We shouldn't look the gift the GM being generous. Yeah.
Don't have to tell the teacher we need homework. Sister Deirdre looks up and asks the deer, said, "Who are you and what is it that you want?"
It gestures at these scattered presents wrapped all across the ground.
"Speak, beast!"
It points at the peas.
"Take them and get out of here. We're not. I'm not interested in any of these things. Are either of you?"
I have gone back to stealing all the hidden tablets that I'm like hacking AirPods to find. I am long gone.
You say you're long gone? You left?
No, I'm not like long gone. I am not in this.
Seymour?
I have scooted behind this reindeer's range of sight, so when Deirdre points, I'm nowhere to be seen because I am on the other side of this huge robot from her, raiding all the hidden electronics.
Now he decides to leave my corner.
No, I don't want any of those presents. I'm good. And I look very innocent for the 5 seconds I bring attention to myself.
I'm fairly certain you killed the Reverend. Just take all the electronics, take all the things that you want, and get out of here.
Points at the can of peas in the Reverend's hand.
Valenweenmas is ruined anyway.
Clutched tightly.
Why do you want the peas? What is it with the world peas that everyone is fighting for?
You asking the unconscious Reverend, or?
I'm asking the greater god itself. I'm asking the security guard who's standing off to the side doing nothing. I'm asking you, the unconscious on the ground. Why are these peas so important? What is it that's going to make these peas the linchpin to everything Valenweenmas? I don't understand.
Well, they are worth approximately $7 bajillion.
Because it's canned food.
That's 7 search engines?
Yes.
At least.
Can I roll faith to have an existential crisis? I guess.
And while you do that, the guard that called the robo-deer, who's been playing Tetris on his phone, absentmindedly tries to answer your question. I think he just wants everything. Kind of his job.
14 minus 2, so that's a 12. I'm not sure if that means I have an incredibly bad existential crisis or I don't have an existential crisis and I just decide that this is all meaningless.
It sounds like a pretty substantial crisis to me.
This 80-year-old nun in her go-go boots, her denim cutoffs, and her Def Leppard t-shirt just slumps to the ground, just completely defeated.
Goes into a fetal position, starts sucking on the crucifix.
That's a very different movie.
Whoa. That is not where I was going with that, sir.
Oh my.
So this is definitely a robot, right? Like a computerized machine. It's not just pure analog pistons and...
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do I have reason to suspect that it might be on some sort of wireless network, like connected to Wi-Fi or able to be accessed to Wi-Fi? Like...
Absolutely.
Okay, so cool. So what I want to do is I want to find the wireless network it's on, and I want to try hacking into it to mess with its controls.
Cool.
I just pull up my little wrist ring, I pull up my computer, and I like find the Wi-Fi. I'm like, okay, this looks like the right Wi-Fi. Like this is like the nearest Wi-Fi signal, and I'm gonna roll and see if I can just basically take and override the controls for the robot.
The Wi-Fi network is just 8 equals and a capital D.
Yep. All right, so that is 13 minus 3 for a 10.
You hack into the controls and accidentally fire off one of the antlers. Oh dear. It points directly at AOL and lets off a fire blast. That's gonna be one big old damage.
Fire Blaster. That was my name.
Joke's on the deer, I'm water type, so I resist fire blast. Either way, is a 10 at least a mixed success where I got harm in exchange for getting something I wanted to accomplish?
A 10 is a failure, unfortunately.
That's why I was checking. I was like, it's on the like a 6 is a complete success, and a 9 was like a mix. I'm like, where's 10 fall? Okay. Also, because I've accumulated a bajillion electronics, I also, like Sonic the Hedgehog, have a bunch of tablets go shooting out of me like rings in Sonic the Hedgehog.
But if you get hit once, whew.
Old school Sonic.
The roll thresholds, if you're curious, are 0, 1 to 6, 7 to 9, 10 to 17, and then 18 is a bloody failure.
Bloody failure? Is it British or just really bad?
It is real bad and British. It's even in a different font in the PDF.
Deirdre's Irish, so she thinks that they're synonyms. The bloody British.
Can I wake up now?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You decided that you were unconscious. I did not say that at any time.
That was the flavorfully correct thing to do after getting headbutted by the Megazord, so.
Oh yeah, I'm not criticizing.
So, bleary-eyed, one eye is his left eye is definitely looking left, and his right eye is looking normal. You do see there's a goose egg on the Reverend's face, but he, without getting up, reaches into the coat pocket and pulls out the Nokia phone and throws it.
I thought you were going to call God for an airstrike.
See, I would if I were in my right mind, but I just headbutted a Megazord, so...
That's fair.
But it's a Nokia phone, so it's like throwing a missile.
Yeah. Okay. And this is your God phone, so...
You're like, yeah. Since I have nothing to subtract, I got a 3, a 1, and a 4 for an 8.
Are you tapping into your holiday spirit for this attack?
Not at all.
Yeah, right on.
Justin also has the DM spirit in that he loves complications.
Yes.
I dig it too. Yeah, so okay, an 8. It's a partial success. You successfully throw your brick at the Megazord, and it surprisingly kind of dents its shin. Unfortunately, that has also drawn its ire towards you.
Fantastic.
Seeing that the shin has been dented, can I see some like exposed wiring or things along that lines that I could maybe reach into? Deirdre's going to reach into her robes once more and remove this time a metal ruler in attempt to smash the deer in the shins in the exposed spot where the Nokia phone hit it.
No, Deirdre, use the yardstick. It's the only way.
Use the what now?
Use the yardstick. It's the only way.
Oh no, but you see what happens is she takes the metal ruler, and it's one of those that when you spin it, it's actually a yardstick that folds in on itself, and so she unfolds it out. That's like shing, shing, and she holds it up like Lionel's sword before making the attack, and I inevitably roll a 16 on an 18 on this one. Okay, that's gonna be 7 total.
Nice.
In the holy name of Jesus, Saurus Rex, I strike you down! And I plunge the metal yardstick right into the exposed spot that the good Reverend created.
With that, you jam the ruler into the misaligned joint. Jam it right into the wires and circuits and stuff. It does shock you a little bit. Not going to give you damage, but narratively, you're a little toasty now.
I just imagined you can see a yellow outline around her, and you can see her skeleton for like 15 seconds as she just and then she falls to the ground covered in ash and smoking. Yeah.
Flickering on and off.
Alright, I have an idea. I want to, while they're distracting it by actually trying to fight it, have changed back into my Seymour Deals outfit.
Is that Seymour Deals?
Oh, hey there, fella. You look like you need some tech support. I see some damage. Do you mind if I just do some maintenance on it? I would like to roll tech to convince this guy to let me I want to roll as Seymour Deals, the mascot of the IT team for the entire fucking city, that I'm here to fix this guy's damaged mech. And I want to actually sabotage the mech so it doesn't work anymore.
Looks from you to the empty spot where your previous disguise was standing before. And kind of smoke coming out from its all of its little joints, and it daggers over to you, and I guess it's motionless, but in your like tech thing, you can see that it's sort of opened up its Wi-Fi. Is airdrop? That's a thing. It airdrops password to its Wi-Fi.
Cool. I'm gonna roll to try and hack it again. 1 + 2 is 3, + 5 is 8. Yeah, cool. So that's 8 - 3 for a 5.
Hell yeah. Alright. It's taking some damage at this point. You hack the hell out of it.
And then I make it just repeatedly punch itself till it breaks down.
Some of the antlers start sort of like aiming down towards itself, and it unleashes a leaf storm and a gunk shot.
A gunk shot? Pray tell, what is this gunk shot?
Yes, Justin, you heard that right.
All right, so in Pokemon, there's this move where a poison type just shoots a bunch of poison ooze in this kind of like splooge blast, and it's called a gunk shot.
I need to get into Pokemon.
You do. Probably a lot of references that just seemed like weird things to say.
Welcome to dystopian cyberpunk.
It's a very different kind of movie.
I made sure to explain it to Justin in his language.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm as pure as the driven snow.
It also unleashes a hydro pump and cleans up the sewage that it spewed all over the street. And then...
It hydro pumps to clean up its gunk shot?
Well, no, it doesn't clean itself up. It cleans up the street. And then in a sticky, sewery, poisony mass, its last antler point buzzes, and then it falls asleep. Thank you, players, for helping me build this boss without realizing it.
You're welcome? He said very confused, yet aroused.
I was wondering why you're asking those questions.
Confused and aroused, how I survived my teenage years. Anyway, so yeah, getting back to the story.
You did it. You beat the Mechadeer. You scared off the other guard who really wants nothing to do with this. Noob is out of here. And the creature that you identified as the spirit of Valenweenmas, it heads in the same direction as Noob.
Reverend Gates goes over to his Nokia, and not sponsored by Nokia, picks up his Nokia phone, and...
Although it did survive.
Of course it did. There was no doubt. And I would like to make a phone call to Jeebus. A ring-a-ding-ding. So I rolled 6. Oh, I'm sorry, 5. I rolled a 5. So after a little bit, as the phone answers, hello again, my friend. In the spirit of world peace, I would like to know, on behalf of the good sister, if you and Jesusaurus Rex might be one and the same, or just two separate entities that are just both pulling for the betterment of mankind. You know, that true Valenweenmas miracle.
Jeebus basically, well, it's kind of confusing. You see, there are, we're one person, but we're also different people. There are, there's me, and then there's my, illegitimate son that I sired with a virgin. And then there's also a large monster truck, and we are all different people, but we're all exactly the same person at the exact same time. So we're three different. Oh, and there's also my friend Steve, who fills in for me when I go on vacation, and there are a few other different, people and places and spirits that are both part of this pantheon-like thing, but I'm also all them at the same time. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely, that makes perfect sense. You are the splintered butthole. I'm not saying it again.
Now I'm more confused than ever before, but I do know one thing here. I look at both you, and I see what you did to pull yourselves together and help the community, even if there was some self-serving reasons there. You both helped the community out, and you stopped that holy terror from wreaking havoc here on my beloved Circuit City. So I'd like to invite you to one Sunday come down and watch the Redeemer work his miracles, and you can come down and you can be my special guests if you'd like to.
Well, I would be quite honored to do so, if you don't mind. My youngest, Amos, he is quite the prodigy of baked goods. If you would like, he can bring you some cookies.
I would love that.
I just have a feeling he'll be famous someday.
The various meat shields start gathering the scattered presents that had been left by Noob and...
Oh, you're still alive. Hallelujah.
Well, most of them.
Hallelujah.
A couple died, but they were carried away.
No, a whole new shuttle bus of cult members have arrived.
Oh, okay.
No, this is a whole new shuttle bus of cult members.
They're so interchangeable.
It's like ants that, carried their dead back to the hive.
Yeah, absolutely. And what they do with the bodies, that's for our next holiday special.
Yeah, you gave them all the exact same name, which is a symptom of a cult.
Oh, before we fade out, you just see one eating the brains of the other. It looks up at the camera.
Meanwhile, Artemis says he would appreciate Deirdre's invitation, and he walks off very nonchalantly with his giant sack full of stolen electronics to the poor part of town where he quietly hides them in places that even the stupidest child can find them.
A true Valenweenmas miracle.
There's literally an antique PS5 sticking out of a sock.
No, it's like hidden behind a single twig. There's like one leaf on top, and it's like, that's now considered hidden.
I've looked everywhere, I can't find... Move the leaf.
My God!
Goes up to a kid that's like eating lunch outside, like sets a Game Boy down on the table and then just sits the fruit cup on top of it. It's hidden.
Hooray!
And so it has been for the last 200, 300, 400 years, something like that, I don't care. If you children appreciated this story of the first true Halloweenmas, I would suggest donating a sock or maybe a rat would be preferred. Just for old Max to have for this, the 9,000th anniversary of Valenweenmas, whatever. Just give me your presents.
Max, you told us this story the last time we went to Salvation. Why are you telling it again?
It's a Valenweenmas special, I believe.
I'm not sure if this story gets more or less believable with each telling.
What's so special about it? Valenweenmas happens like the third Thursday of every month.
Yes, but, we hold it in our heart, right next to our colons. So, to all who have been eavesdropping, we wish you a very adequate Valenweenmas and happy Blue Year.
Now get back to work!
Blades in Paradise is Paul Kinter as Master of Ceremonies, Justin Langston as Maximilian Graves, Faith Queenie Long as Lizzie Calhoun, and Mel Riley as Sterling Ackred, and myself, Jim Remus, as Dr. Winston Thoreau. Dami Widener is our editor. You can directly support this show at patreon.com/bardrocknetwork, starting at just $3 a month. You can join us on Discord, you can come play games with us, we'll even send you network swag at the end of the year. You can visit our sponsor, Evil Hat Games, and use code BARDROCK10 to buy cool games like Blades in the Dark, and let them know we sent you. You can support the podcast for free by sharing us on social media, word of mouth, or rating and subscribing on your favorite podcatcher. Lastly, you support us just by listening. Thank you for listening, dear friends.